Hello and welcome to Heats 4 and 5 of the Club Championship for Manly 16-Foot Skiff Club. I'm Jimmy Bury, and joining me in commentary today is Rob Napper and very special guest Jessica Isles. Welcome, guys.
Thank you for having me.
Lovely to have you on board. It was, I don't think you've had a week off from sailing yet, have you?
Oh, almost. I think I've been here every week except 2, so yeah, doing well for retirement.
Very good. We were very happy to get hold of Jessica early on in the week to come and join us, and she brushed a whole heap of other people off and other sailing commitments to join us, so thank you very much, Jess. Rob, you're the same. You had to brush everyone off.
I've got no options at the moment.
You've got no options.
I was just happy to make the cut this week.
Yep. And mate, talking of the cut, how's the healing coming along with that shoulder of yours, mate?
Yeah, it's going pretty well. So, as good as can be expected. Still no guarantees on when I'll be back, but yeah, everything's on track.
But obviously missing the sailing. I know you're in and around it all day, every day with the kids, and then I drag you out here just to rub it in a bit more that you can't do it.
Yeah, I don't think I've missed a week yet, and we've had some pretty good breezes over the last month, so it's certainly been starting to hurt. But yeah, I'll be back out there soon enough.
That's good to hear. And Jess, you've been sailing 16s, 13s. Every time I turn around, you're on a different boat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been really cool, actually. I think I did 16s for 7 years, and I've jumped back in a 13 twice this season, and it just, yeah, they're such a good boat and real talent coming through the class, so the future of the 16s are looking fantastic. Yeah,
you're not wrong there. The young ones coming through the 13s, they've really picked it up, and a lot of that has to do with the guy sitting on the other side of you, Rob,
yes,
who's been coordinating the 13 trainings of a Friday evening, and we're starting to see the results from all that effort and thanks to all the wonderful volunteers that Rob manages to wrangle in for that.
Yeah, it's going well, and I think the results in the States last week were reflective of the guys that have been out every Friday night training. I've got to say a big thanks to Jess, who was out actually training them last night. I was at work, so Jess stepped up and ran the session, and we got some very positive feedback from that. So yeah, but we'll continue to do that through to the Nationals, and then we'll see what the 13 sailors' appetite is for continuing that afterwards.
And there's the boat you're normally on, Rob, with Jimmy Beck jumping in for Treno today.
Yeah, Trent's going to be away for a couple of weeks, so Jimmy's on this week. I think with designs on potentially sailing the final heat of the States at Belmont with the boys as well. But not sure at this stage. We'll see how he survives 2 races here today.
Jimmy's a good old hand, I'm sure he'll be okay.
He's very capable, but he asked me not to talk him up, so he said he's an unfit bowman. Trying to fill in on the sheet, apparently. But I think he'll go pretty well.
And there's the fluid with Davey O'Connor, Phil Harmer and Fang Warren on that with a new mast, so it'd be interesting to see how they go today with all the new kit and the new crew.
New mast, new main. Looks very different to their original setup.
Yep, and Phil Harmer up the bow.
Yep, extremely capable crew, so if they can get the thing going through the water, they should be pretty slick around corners, I would expect.
There's the Fireball, the little young guns.
Another product of our 13s. All 3 of those guys came through the 13s. All through Flying 11s as well, actually. So came through all the pathway classes.
Yeah, they've been sailing together for a few years now, so I think if they can put some more time on the water, we should definitely see them getting up through the fleet.
Quite the flavour of a sponsor at the Nationals, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it'll be an interesting day today. It's that breeze, which I think a lot of people will feel confident sailing in, so it'll be important to get a good start and a good first work, especially with 2 short races.
Yeah, as you said, Jess, the sprint racing, you can't afford to be late for the start, but at the wrong end of the start line, every little corner counts. They've got them currently on the 16-foot skiffs on a L3, so explain that to us, Jess.
Yeah, so that is 3 laps. The L means you finish to leeward, so it'll be a downwind finish through the start line almost. Yeah.
Perfect. And then that boat there on screen, the Cunninghams, Nick Connor, the bloke there in the middle, Paul McKenzie, was plenty to say last night down the Skiff Club. Been out for lunch.
He's always got plenty to say.
I think he's good for about maybe 3 laps. So, well, they pulled out of the last one because they broke something.
I think Mike Childs broke his trap hook.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah, it sheared clean off.
Yep.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. They were doing really well last time.
A couple of our 13s on screen there. We've just come off them.
There's another one.
The QED as well. Yep. Very nice. What are your thoughts on the 13s today, Jess? You saw him in action last night.
Yeah,
it was going quick.
It's definitely tight in the 13s. I think we've got Harkin leading at the moment, so that is Heidi and Orlando. Both excellent sailors. It's Heidi's and Orlando's first full season in a 13. Heidi's been doing really well on the Flying 11s as well, so it'll be great to see how they go in a little bit more breeze. Ebix are also right up there. They smashed it at States last week at Drummoyne, so yeah, it'll be a good battle between those two.
Talking about them, might get Chits just to bring up the 13-foot skiff results to date. And there's the Typhoon. So there's the 13-foot skiffs with Harkin leading on 4 points, Ebix on 9. As you said, a little bit of work to do, but still early on. And Bartley Construction's in 3rd place. So, it's all still pretty tight there. Made Rob do some homework prior to us going live. We get 1 drop.
Yes, we do. So that was a question without notice last time we spoke about it. So we've done our homework now. It's 1 drop for the series, as long as they get 5 races in, which they're looking pretty good to get that.
Yeah, I think comfortably today we should get the 2 in,
yep.
Barring a major front coming through and something happening. Just getting swarmed by optimists at the moment. Yeah. There's the young bloke of the fleet, Craig Nichols, with Wes Allen and Pete Graham. Craig was on the health bench last night.
They've been going quite well this season in this sort of range of breeze, so it wouldn't surprise me to see him up there. Eddie's certainly got him around the top mark in good shape a few times. They tend to fall away a little bit as the race goes on, but...
Yeah, well, Pete's first season in a 16-foot skiff at a sprightly young age of the wrong side of 21, I can tell you that. Fast passage and handling. And that's not Zoe on the back of that.
No, that's their normal crew back today. Felix is back on the helm.
It'll be really interesting to see how sail racing go today. I think they're near the top of the fleet in Club Champs at the moment. This is their kind of breeze, so hoping to see them somewhere at the top.
You want to have a look at the 16 results, Jess?
Yeah, I would like to do that.
All right, let's bring them on up. There we go. That's how the magic happens around here. So first leading at the moment is Imagine Signage. G'day to Scotty, I know he's watching. Second, Sail Racing, 5 points behind. And third is Sutek Building, who I think after us giving a bit of a rev up, came back from Mount Panorama and actually sailing quite well. the lunatics on Sutek. And then, but Moonan, unfortunately for that first day with the 2 really bad results, as you said, got 1 drop, but they're not completely out of it for the Moonan fans, but definitely making, we've been there plenty of times, carrying a heavy one on our back the whole way to the end of the Club Champs. And there's the current state title leaders in the 13s.
Gemma and James Hopkins, sibling dream team. Seeing how much they've improved over the last couple of seasons is quite amazing. They both came through Flying 11s at the club, so it goes to show how good the Flying 11s are as well.
And they're a good young, approachable guys to talk to and help
absolutely.
out.
I was just chatting to them in the rigging park, and the way they help other people rig their boats and how all the 13s help each other is really lovely to see. Another young crew there, Employment Hero on the screen.
I think they might have their normal crew back this week. I don't think that's Niall steering. I think he'll be involved with the Manly Junior States up at RPA. So I think we'll see Will DeVola back on the helm there. Yep,
that's Wilbur. And he's His dad Dolly is off at his godson's wedding today, Nick Perry. So Jammer's son. There you go. It makes you feel nice and young, doesn't it, Rob?
It looks like we've got Nathan Lilly sailing on Bartley Construction today. Nathan sailed 13s a few years ago, very talented sailor, so it'll be cool to see how they go with Hugh Skeen in his normal position.
Seen Nathan on a lot of boats this year. It's a bit like yourself. He's had quite a few fill-in rides. So I don't think I'd seen him in a 13 yet this year, though. He's mainly been jumping around on the 16s.
Following your pattern, Jess.
Yeah. There's Imagine Signage, who is currently winning our club championships.
Okay. So Nathan is approachable, we just got to wave from him. The young bloke there on the sheet, Brett. There he is. Right on cue. How good's that? Loves the camera.
Not shy. He'll enjoy having those two back in the boat this week. They were off, Nathan and Mal were off winning the Etchell State Championships last week, so Brett had a filling crew for the States. I think he was certainly looking forward to having them back on the boat this week.
There you go, transfer from the brother to sister on screen. Nice handoff. Sophie and Bella.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see them today in a little bit of a lighter breeze, being light crew. They've definitely got some talent on the boat, so it'll be good to see them shine today, hopefully.
Both of them were doing their HSC, I think.
Yes, I think they are.
Beef, and there's the fire stopping, Alex, Lockie and Jamie. Got the turbo one a bit ambitious, but we'll see what happens.
It did look pretty light in the park, though. It wouldn't surprise me to see a few turbos out here today.
Yeah, so before we went live, we noticed a few of the Middle Harbour boats, because Middle Harbour fleet are joining Manly this week. A few of them popped out early with little rigs on, so it was a bit of a... We were sort of going, oh, must be a bit more windier up Middle Harbour than what it is out here. So Botany Access with Ryan and Chris on board with... who do they have with them? Tim Lake.
Yep.
Tim Lake I've seen on the rigging deck. So not long now until we get proceedings underway. There's another little rig from Middle Harbour on the sheds. Here we go, right on 5 minutes, there we go. No. Quite a long start line. It's not that blue mark, it's actually further down towards Grotto Point, so got them on a...
Yeah, we are catering for a bigger fleet today, though, so hopefully there'll be enough room for everyone down there.
Yeah, can we get a counting next time? No, just for 5 minutes.
So just on camera there, we've got Swell Racing. They've come down from Belmont to have a race with the Manly Middle Harbour fleets today.
Looks nice.
Very talented young crew. They've got some pretty good results in the short time that they've been in skiffs, in the 16s anyway. They're normally pretty consistent up at Belmont.
Very young. So who are you liking for the first race, guys?
Oh, I would love to see sail racing up there in this type of breeze. I think the obvious one would be Imagine Signage, and I know Moonin are going to be pushing pretty hard today as well. Yeah, those three would be my top three picks, I think.
Robbie?
Yeah, you've taken all the good ones from me, haven't you?
Yeah.
The advantages of being the guest.
Yeah.
I don't know, I reckon, well, maybe not necessarily in the Manly fleet. The Eric Storage, there's probably conditions that suit them, and they've got a brand new big rig in that boat because they snapped a rig in the in the States last week. It'll be interesting to see how the fluid goes today with Dave and Fang and Phil on board with a new mast and a new setup as well.
And how about the 13s? Here we go.
Yeah, I think watching Gemma and James in Ebix yesterday, they're going to be a tough boat to beat. They've really got their crew work sorted, so I think, yeah, they'll be up there. And then Bartley will be doing well today, along with Harkin. And there's a few guests in the 13s as well. A few of the girls, I know Bethan and Amy, who sailed together last season, have come back and stepped in today, so it'll be cool to see a few more girls in the fleet.
And there is a growing number of girls in the 13s, and we're starting to see it in the 16s, but you bailed out last year. You've hit the retirement.
Minus one of the girls from me. But yeah, you see people like Zoe Dransfield and Sarah Lee who are consistently being asked to come back, and they are absolute talents in the class. So yeah, there's no reason we can't do it. We might be a bit smaller and not as strong, but yeah, absolutely can fill in the roles.
Certainly proved to be very capable with a all-female podium in one of the races last season.
Yeah, that was a special moment, that one.
It's good. It's nice to be involved with that one. Yeah, minute and a half to go. Starting to rack up now.
Someone in trouble down there at the pin.
I'm anticipating boats will be pushing for a pin end start here. The left side of the course often tends to be a bit favoured, so yeah.
Bit of a funny breeze though. It's more of a gradient than one of our traditional sea breezes, so the normal markers that these boats will hit on the shores may not pay, and the mark's going to be a little bit off to the right from where we're used to as well, the top mark that is. So I think it might be a day where they just want to play shifts rather than hitting the traditional points that they would hit on this northeast course.
I think unfortunately these little rigs are going to struggle a bit off the start line too.
Yeah, off the start and certainly up towards the top looks a lot lighter than what we've got down here at the moment.
It's coming up to 20 seconds to go time.
Everyone's still looking pretty well behaved at this stage.
The advantage is tide's coming in. When the tide's coming out, it tends to push everyone over the line in a northeast course when we start down here.
Well, it looked like a very clear start from where we're sitting.
Yeah, it definitely looks like MCC has won that start. Imagine Signage will be pushing hard to get in front of them.
Yeah, well, Jared sent me a message before the start. They got a crew change on there, no Jackson. They got Kurt Mitchell in.
Yep. Okay.
And he goes, we'll be leading, so just make sure you're aware of that. So just sort of rub that in, Jared.
Yeah, well, they certainly got the jump on Imagine Signage, but Imagine Signage is already stepping out from underneath them. It's going to be interesting to see whether Imagine can get into a leave-out position here.
He's bailed out early.
Yeah, they're on the front of a nice line there. So they may not have had a lane though, looking at where they are. Yeah, the MCC starting to get over the top of Imagine Signage there now.
It's that old trying to hold up and then get enough height and then run away with it, isn't it?
There we go. Nathan just managed to get enough height on him to force him back there. MCC are not going to cross those first, not the first boat. I can't see who that is from here. It might be World Bowl. No.
And for the fans at home, Red Pumps Red is still on their way down to the starting area, so...
So Sail Racing look like they've done really well here. They've got a nice lift up behind those boats in front of them.
There they are, on on screen.
You'd have to suggest that's our race lead. I can see Imagine Signage is actually...
Something's just happened on fire stopping. Looks like someone's fallen off the wire.
Yep.
Looks like they're managing to save it. Always got to fight hard to save a capsize. Yeah, Sail Racing have tacked and everyone's tacked underneath them, so they've got themselves in a really good position here.
Yeah, just off screen, Imagine Signage got pushed into the corner. They're coming out on a pretty bad lane now. It is quite patchy up under the Dogroid headland here as well.
Broken trapeze line on the fire stopping, and Lockie's swimming for his life.
Hopefully I can get that sorted before the next race. Yeah, we've got a clear lead there already. The Sail Racing just off to the left of that shot. Imagine Signage do have a couple of nice lines coming down to them here. They might be able to climb off that pack that's in front of them.
The distance that Sail Racing's already opened up on the likes of Imagine Signage is quite huge for early on.
Yeah, absolutely. They're sailing really well. Felix often does quite well in this breeze. He seems to be pushing height really nicely to keep on top of everyone. Cunningham's have just tapped there, trying to get some clear air, I'd say.
The new fluid is doing very well.
They look pretty good through the water, don't they? So
yeah, they are
just
there.
round to the left, that's it.
There's, in the background of that shot, you had Craig Nichols heading out to head-to-head.
He's a bit of a one-trick pony, isn't he, on this Northeast track?
May work today.
Maybe.
Maybe today could be the day.
He's going to need a pretty big riding from where he is.
So you can see the boats have tacked back coming into the Bombora marks. There is some nice breeze off this point here, so they'll be fighting to get to it first. Yeah, Fluid's done really well off that tack. You can see they're getting up above Sail Racing. This will be a good fight between those two for the top mark.
Yeah, I think Fluid's got a nice line coming down to them here as well that they're going to pick up just inside Sail Racing. That top mark is a fair way up into Manly Cove too, so it's going to get quite fickle. There's going to be plenty of opportunities for gains and losses up the top end of this track.
Great tack on the Sail Racing there. That's how you do it.
Straight back up to speed. Fluid's just gone back underneath them. Trying to get into a lee bow position. I don't think they're going to do it from there.
I think Davey and Fang would back himself to try and get there, but
They will. Even if they don't get to a lee bow, if they push out to the lay on this mark, they're going to get in a position where they're going to force Sail Racing back.
It'll be interesting to see how the boats who have gone a bit further right go coming back along the top here.
Yeah, they're not looking great at the moment, are they?
Yeah. So off in the distance, Imagine Signage have just tapped. I think they might be on their ley line to the top mark.
going up to the mark, yes.
So it looks like Fluid have done really well there getting in front of Sail Racing, so that new rig is obviously doing well for them. And Imagine signage on the left of the screen there look like they're actually coming back pretty nicely, and they've got the advantage being on starboard, so it'll be good to see how this plays out. Cunninghams have also done well on this work. They typically love stronger breezes, so to see them doing well when it's a little bit lighter is really good to see.
Paulie's normally got one good work in him.
Salt water always clears the mind.
So Imagine signage didn't quite lay that mark. They've ended up low, so they're little moment there on the Sail Racing, and a moment on the Fluid as well. Just lost their tack line.
Yeah, where the top marks laid's right, below Kilbourne Towers, and I think the breeze is lifting up over it and just hitting the water right where these guys are.
Yeah, lots of action at the top mark here. So I think we're up to 5th place now is MCC. Moonin are pushing. They might just make that
pushing
mark.
Their luck, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, they've got round. Well done.
These guys coming around now, Bartley Constructions, Jess, they're showing really good first beat.
Yeah.
Pretty much all year, and then they just something just happens to them. It's a.
Yeah. Well, Dan Bromler, who is skipper on that boat, has just come back from a season off last year, and they've redone their whole boat. It's looking really nice, and it looks like we've got Moonin in the water here. They will be very upset with that early swim.
And just at the top mark, Imey on the mark. Outback Marine having to take evasive action, almost into botany access.
Seems quite shifty up here. A few boats perhaps struggling with a bearaway when they maybe didn't expect to.
Some carnage on this mark.
Who just did that? Phil Cook on Altus. I think you might want to have the bow pole looked at on your boat, Robbie, moving forward on the Imey.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those boys are going to be doing a turn before they set this spinnaker.
Yep. Here's Outback Marine after taking all that evasive action, losing a handful of spots around and setting. It's CMG, which is from Middle Harbour.
For the Moonin fans, they did go down in their set again. First time around the top mark. They are on screen and going again now, but they're back probably just outside the top 10.
Yeah, you don't need to make your day difficult by having a swim, do you?
No.
Rob always used to love it when I sunk us. He was very accommodating to me.
So Moonin putting in an early jibe. We've got the rest of that little clump of boats which they'll be trying to beat for the bottom mark.
We got them. It's on the leaders there on screen, just ducking through the 13s who are heading up for the first time.
Cunninghams look like they've just jibed on a lay to their bottom mark. The bottom mark will be a gate, so we've got 2 marks and boats can choose which one to go around. So we've still got Sail Racing and Fluid in a tight first and second, and Imagine signage on screen there in third. Fluid are choosing to go around starboard rounding to come back out to the left-hand side of the course. and Sour Racing are going around the other mark, so a little split here will be interesting to see how they navigate that on this upwind. Yeah, Imagine Signage have done very well to get back into those top few spots.
Yeah, very tidy rounding. Sour Racing had a bit of a messy rounding, giving up a bit of ground, and the Cunninghams have got up inside them there as well. So we can see Swell Racing and Red Pumps coming into the bottom marks now. They're going to split as well. So the starboard rounding's probably a slight advantage at the moment, and it gets you straight back across to that shore that seemed to pay up the first work.
If you're chasing this early in a race, Jess, would you split bottom marks with people, or would you just want to go with them and back your pace?
Yeah, hard to tell this early on in a race, but I think I'd be just wanting to choose the side of the course that I'm confident in.
There's Moonen with a mile of work to do.
Yeah, they've already pulled a few back though. I think they're up to maybe 8th now. They would have been in the teens when they got upright, so good early gains.
Yeah, something they're very good at is picking their way back through the fleet, and I know they're very, very quick downwind, so I know they've worked hard to get to where they are. We've got Sutek among others. Sutek have been doing pretty well this season, so they'd probably be wanting to work hard.
Oh,
and
there's plenty happening at this bottom mark. Yep. Lana with plenty of work to do there. They're already past the mark.
Got Imi coming in here as well after doing a 360 at the top.
Looks like that's Altus coming around with them. So it has been a split at this bottom mark, but the majority have gone the starboard rounding to get straight back under Dobroyd. There's still maybe 6 or 7 boats have gone out to the east. So fire stopping, looks like they've got that trapeze issue sorted out, but they're a long way back. A lot of ground to make up. Still much better than a DNF though if they can get themselves around this track.
Yeah, Alex will be kicking himself. I know he's trying extremely hard. I think he's probably trying just a little bit too hard some days and putting too much pressure on himself. And
they've got a pretty good maintenance program on that boat too, so it's quite frustrating when something small like that really ruins your race. So we're just coming through the back end of the 16 fleet. We're trying to catch up to the 13s to see where they're just coming around their top mark now. Looks like Plonk might be in front.
Yeah, so Plonk Cafe, Avril Richardson steering that boat from Middle Harbour. She does really, really well. And it looks like Harkin in second, so Harkin would be our first Manly boat with Ebix in third. So Ebix our second Manly boat.
the bright yellow one, obviously Fluid.
Yep.
Yeah. Fluid and Cybertech group right with them.
Really close racing in the 13s.
Yeah, so Harkin was the first boat to split there. They've jibed off there just to the right of screen. Stick with these four boats heading down to Dobroyd now.
Yeah, I think a risky move from Harkin driving off early, and it looks like they've got a few kite issues to the right of screen, but with Plonk and Ebix, they're in a really nice gust here coming down.
They've come around in great pressure, haven't they? All
Yeah,
this front
absolutely.
view, they've just stepped away from the rest of the fleet at the moment.
Yeah.
It's a really nice shot there. Beautiful.
Yeah, Plonk's put some good distance between themselves and Ebix, so they're in a really good spot there.
So your Fluid are lit up at the moment. Very quick downwind.
He's traditionally been very quick downwind.
I think they are. Yeah, they're probably a little bit lighter than certainly not the heaviest boat in the fleet. They're quick downwind today. Kind of forced Ebix back before they rolled them.
We get Piers to come right around to the left to Sail Racing and Fluid building 16-foot skiff coming up. We have a lead change, Sail Racing. There you have it.
There we go. So they did split at the bottom mark, I think. I think Sail Racing came up the right-hand side of the course, so they've now just come back over to the left, so it's obviously worked well for them.
They did too. I didn't think that was going to pay. So
yeah.
They must have got a nice little easterly shift out there. Yeah, I didn't see... Yeah, Cunningham's has come back into the pack.
Yeah, so we've just got our Sail Media 13 on screen there. Sailing nicely. And that's QED with the blue kite. So we've got Cunningham's and Imagine Signage, who also worked up the right-hand side of the course, and they have both come back looking really nice. So, yeah, I guess they've seen something that we didn't.
We still got it right, though.
Oh, yeah.
We always get it right here. Trust me.
I didn't.
Yeah, tight cross. So they're currently in 3rd and 4th positions.
Big angle differences up the top end of this course. Very gusty and shifty coming into this top mark. So
yeah, we saw that on the last rounding of the top mark. Boats were struggling to pick a strong ley line. So
yeah, so these two should both be on a lay now. We'll just see if Fluid can get down over the top of Sail Racing or not.
yeah, good rounding there by both boats. Fluid have managed to sneak in front, so as long as they can have a clean set, they're looking good where they are. Oh, Sail Racing. Oh, dear.
They saved that. No, I don't think they have. I think they're
that's
gone.
really unfortunate for them.
Bugger.
So this is our 2nd rounding out of 3, so with a 3rd of the race done, that's going to be tough for them to fight back.
Yep.
Especially with the spinnaker fully out of the bag.
Yeah. So Fluid are not quite in a comfortable lead, but a bit more comfortable than they were, with Imagine Signage and Cunningham's not too far behind. Fluid have got a really nice gust there. They have put some separation on.
Sail Racing is back upright, just trying to get all the crew in the boat.
There we are, they're almost back. They've gone from 2nd to maybe 7th or 8th now. Yeah, Swell Racing did nicely up that work. They've come through the fleet a little bit, probably picked up 4 or 5 boats. There should be quite slippery downwind. They're just tucked in behind MCC there.
So that's Moonin with the white kite there. They've just gone around. They've done really well to fight back. They'll be wanting to pick up a few more places before the finish, though. Looks like we've just had Botany Access go around. We've got Moonin on screen there. You can see how hard they work downwind.
It's important to work the boat downwind like it's...
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, Yeah, I know the bloke sitting beside you, I did most of my 16 career with like plugging out Anthony's pants on the rail, going forward and back, and trying to squeeze every little bit out of everything that we could do.
Yeah, I think a big rookie error in your first season is to go around the top mark and think it's the time to relax, but no, you've absolutely got to be working hard downwind.
Yeah, it's not just the bow, it's the sheet hand as well. It makes a massive difference. Like if you can get in sync with the spinnaker in the main, just a little pump or a little bounce just to catch every wave, you use every opportunity to get a bit of extra speed or soak a bit of extra depth. By the time you get to the bottom of the run, you've probably picked up 30 seconds. Makes a massive difference.
I was too busy using it as my time to have a rest.
Yeah. I think that was Skipper was pumping the main for me in those cases. Trying to get Jimmy prepped for the next big work.
I'm a pure athlete, mate.
Yeah.
So Red Pumps have done well here to get in front of MCC. And that's Fluid on screen now, coming into the bottom mark, so they'll probably be putting a jibe in potentially soon, or they might be going around that port hander to get that right shift.
Yeah, they've put themselves in a great spot to get to either mark here, so they can make a call when they get down. Imagine signage just going through a jibe behind them. They look like they're going to take the right-hand mark. They'll have a little split.
So this is Imagine signage coming in second.
Just no rush, these guys make it look so easy. And all the good guys do, but super effective and just really calm on that boat, on the Imagine signage.
Here's Cunningham's in third, still packing their kite a little bit, but I'm sure Mikey on bow will be jumping out as soon as he can. This breeze has picked up really nicely here. On our 13s, we've got Bartley Construction. I think, unfortunately, I saw Harkin have a little swim at the bottom mark, so our 13s will be working hard today. Interestingly, this time most boats seem to be choosing to go for the starboard rounding to get back out on the left side of the course. We've got Moonen coming in here with one more lap to go.
And I think they'd be confident enough that there's a pack right there, right in front of them, that they could probably nail them down.
Yeah, they're going to back themselves to get 2 or 3 more spots up this work, and then maybe a couple more down the last run. Still probably only going to bring them back to a 4th or 5th at best, though. That's if they have a very good go at this work.
After a swim, you'll take anything like that.
Botany coming in on screen here. They're on actually quite a tight lay for a jibe drop around this mark, so let's keep them on camera. We'll see how they handle this. Plenty of work to do, but they're doing it quite well there. Can handle some pressure.
Nicely done. Erics have decided to drop before going around the mark, but they're having a bit of trouble getting that kite down. We'll just get out of their way.
They've bailed out from the left-hand mark option. They're going to go all the way around to the other mark now, I think.
Naomi.
Made a bit of ground up. Still plenty of work to do.
One of our middle harbour boats, is that the Turtle Smuggler?
Yeah, the signage would suggest that it is.
Got Outback Marine on screen here.
Let's see if they give Alana a bit more love around this bottom mark. They put her under all sorts of pressure on the last one.
Phil Cook, so happy to have a new main. He doesn't want to get signage on it.
Got Employment Hero on screen going for their drop.
Well,
And Bartley Construction, who had a little bit of trouble laying that bottom mark.
Is the fire stopping, but we'll get moving on up.
yeah, you're moving there. They've actually picked a really nice line up through here. I'm not sure about their angle, but they're going very well through the water.
Got Eric Storage from Middle Harbour just navigating a capsized boat there. Got a few 13s on screen here. That's Bartley with Nathan Lilly and Hugh Ski. And we've got Harkin on screen now.
Yeah, these guys are still a little way back, aren't they? They've definitely had some issues down that run, whether it was a swim. I saw that
they
were
did have a
struggling with
swim
their
at the
spinnaker.
bottom mark, so they've got a bit of work to do.
Plenty of pressure too, backwinding that main now.
Yeah, they're pretty light, Heidi and Orlando, but yeah, they've definitely got the skill, but they would be hoping for a little bit more weight on the boat today. And Sail Racing have just tacked underneath them.
I think they've got a little bit of gauge there. They should be all right for a while.
So we've got Botany Scaffold just behind Sail Racing there, which are the girls. So they're seem to be doing quite well today.
We got the first 13 around the top mark. For those interested in the 13s, is Fluid. It's going to be followed by Evix.
Yeah, so Fluid have done really well to get in the lead here. As we said, last downwind, Fluid have been sailing really well in their 13 downwind, and they put a good lead on Evix, who are currently in second. Yeah, that'll be really cool to see if 16 and 13 first to Fluid and Fluid.
Bozo would shout the bar, wouldn't he? At least put it on him.
There's our Sail Media 13 coming upwind with Moonin in the background.
Back on with the 16s. Looks like we do have Imagine Signage in the lead. These guys just find a way to get through the pack at the moment.
So there's Plonk Cafe from Middle Harbour. They've slipped a little bit.
They're back into fourth in the 13s, I think. No, maybe fifth. We've got the MCC 13 snuck around in front of them as well. So quite a comfy lay here for Imagine Signage.
With Fluid not too far behind them. Yeah, they picked a really good ley line there. If they can have a comfy downwind, they've just got to get safely down to the finish, and it looks like they are doing well. But as we can see, some good boats have had a swim today, so it's not over till it's over. Here's Fluid coming around in second. Our 13 QED, and Cunningham's is our third 16 currently.
Fourth will be MCC, and look who's in fifth,
Punched
the
through that
Moonin.
pack, haven't they? So they've probably done better than I expected them to do up here. I thought they might have got to fifth down the run. So they've got 3 boats probably in their sights here that they're going to be half a chance of catching. They don't want to take too many risks though, because they've got a pretty tight chasing pack as well. Let's see if they survive the set first. Right, safely up and going.
Again, trying to lean on down.
So that's Fluid on screen there.
With Imagine signage in the top right. Yep, there they are.
One would imagine still a pretty comfy lead there, and just going through their final jibe perhaps on approach to the finish. Beautiful jibe.
Yeah, Fluid in a really, really good gust there. They seem to have extended on Cunningham's in third behind them. Not quite good enough to get back into the lead.
Imagine coming back, they didn't have a lot of breeze coming to them there, so they're just taking a little covering position on Fluid to make sure they stay between Fluid and the finish line here. Just off screen we have the Fluid 13 on their final approach into the finish line. They're just about to take the win in the 13s. Let's see, Pluck's just gone down there, didn't see what happened there with Imagine signage.
Bit unfortunate for Plum Cafe, who's just gone in the water. Imagine signage just driving back to the finish. So there's Ebix, our second 13, so that's quite good for them. They're currently second in the club championships.
Yep, top 3 there. Imagine are just quite comfortable there. There's really no lane or gauge for the Fluid to get through them from where they are at the moment.
Yeah, they did really well putting those 2 jibes in just to make sure they stayed in the breeze and had a good cover. We do just off screen have a capsized boat on the finish line, so we'll have to manage that. And they're going to put a nice jibe in to sneak across the line.
So that horn was Imagine signage just going through the line, and we're on with Fluid, so pretty tight race. A couple of seconds away from crossing the line themselves. For those following the 13, Cybertech Group came home in third, followed by the MCC 13.
Here's Cunningham's coming in third, so yeah.
It's not all over. Look at the back of the screen there with the
you can see the Moonin's on a really hot line there too.
And they've got a nice puff coming to them.
Yep, and I'd say Cunningham's and MCC have both got a jibe to do here as well.
Yeah, definitely an interesting finish for third. I think Cunningham's, as Imagine signage put that jibe in, looks like Cunningham's may have sailed out of a little bit of breeze.
They're trying to soak down here, and they got MCC getting over the top.
Moonan's just put a jibe in at the top of the screen. They might sneak in. Very tight finish.
They've done it.
I reckon they've done it.
Between
Cunningham's and Moonan there for third.
Well, I'm only saying they've done it because Paulie will be on Cunningham saying that they did it. So.
Yeah, so Cunningham's mooning 3rd and 4th. Not sure exactly which order that was. MCC are home, Comfy in 5th.
Got Red Pumps, which will be our next. Oh, actually, Sail Racing have just snuck in front.
The guys on Swell Racing did the right thing not to interfere in the points. So they're good, Rob. They're very good.
Here's our QED 13, just crossing the line now.
This is the Sail Media 13 coming home. What's that going to be, 6th?
Yeah, the young forward hand on there, Daryl, he's slowly picking it up. This whole sailing caper thing.
And Sutek crossing the line. I've lost count of where we're up to, but 8th.
You're just making up on it.
Yes, yeah.
It's fine. Just hearing a bit of radio chatter in the background. One of the boats has got injured crew member. I think it's on the Cunningham's dislocated shoulder we're hearing.
Ooh,
so
okay.
There'll be more to come on that. We'll get some information when we can.
Eric's from Middle Harbour.
George John Matana.
Yeah, sure. Do you want me to take anyone on board over?
That's Shebang on screen now.
Shebang.
Our next 13 is Botany Scaffold with Bella and Sophie. And there's Amy on screen now after doing their 360. Didn't quite get back up the fleet as they may have hoped. Our next 13's coming down top of screen. We've got Bartley Construction. Might have to do 2 more jibes to get across the line. And we've got Harkin, who had a swim. They'll be a bit disappointed. Leading, might not be leading anymore after this race.
After how many races does the drop come in?
5. So
5.
this is our fourth race.
Yep.
5 races will be our second race today. So yeah, if they can do well, they can maybe drop today's race.
Today's first race, and pray do they get a first in the next race,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, ideally.
Looks like it is.
Yeah, you got Mike
Childs.
Childs. Looks like he may have a shoulder out there, which is not a good sign.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate in the lead up to more states and nationals coming.
They take quite a while to heal from them as well.
Yep.
Here comes Outback Marine, is it?
Yeah,
Chitch just suggested we get Alex Shittenham back from the UK, but I don't think you'd pry him away from his new job. He's got the best job in the world.
Yeah, what's he doing?
Works in a bar that sells beer, but then he drinks the beer with the people that he's selling it to. How good is that for a job?
Ridiculous.
It is Alex down to a T, though.
I'm just wondering
if you're watching.
Wondering if there is anyone on the water here that they're going to be able to throw on board to get back in the next race.
Well, you just keep quiet.
You bring your gear, Jess?
Me up front, I'm a skipper, mate.
You just push Nick off the helm, would you?
Oh yeah, if you let me.
You're dressed for it.
No, I wouldn't want to get my hair wet. Got Employment Hero on screen here.
Just, so a bit of bad luck for Cunningham's. They'll be pretty disappointed with it.
I tell you what, it was a decent result if he sailed down that last run with his shoulder out. I'm not sure when it happened, but yeah, they still picked up a 3rd or a 4th. So
Well, we might
interested
give
to know
them
when
the
that
third on board here. People can
Yeah.
have a look at the results later and
Yeah.
whatever. But we'll give Mikey the third.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Give him the podium. You'll need the beer to pop that back in.
Michael Charles is also our secretary, and he's doing really well in that role, so we're very lucky to have him in the club. Hopefully he's all right. We've got fire stopping on screen and CMG from Middle Harbour. So fire stopping didn't quite get back the places after losing someone overboard just off the start. We do call it a water sport, but ideally we don't want to go swimming.
Exactly.
So all these boats now who have finished will be hanging out here for a little while, trying to get their energy back for what I assume another 3-lap race for race 2.
Yeah, might be a windward finish on this one, which they
Yeah.
occasionally do. Head them back in the right direction towards the club at the end of the day's racing.
Yeah, not if you're from Middle Harbour.
At least they'll have a nice kite run back down.
Ride home, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll compromise and have a leeward finish, make everyone sail a long way home.
So last week we had the state titles in the 16s and 13s up at Drummoyne. Everyone got a chance to brush up on all their tacking and jibing skills up there that you inherently have to do. Manly on top of the leaderboard in both classes, with
Yep.
Moonan having an incredible 4-minute win or thereabouts on the Saturday, but in the 16-foot skiffs, and then Ebex with 3 firsts. So
Yep.
both of them sitting pretty, heading to Belmont for the next 2 rounds.
Yeah, it's one of those tracks, Drummoyne, where if you get out of the blocks and you get around the top mark in a decent spot, you can really clear the fleet. Ruffy, or the Moonan, seemed to have it pretty much all their own way for the whole weekend, whereas the Ebex had to fight pretty hard for their wins. The 13 racing was extremely tight and extremely competitive. Yeah, I think what was pleasing to see in the 13s was that a lot of the kids that have been out training featured in the top handful of boats in the overall standings currently in their states. So sort of just proving that even with a mixed bag of coaching, just that time on the water is really helping them.
It's really important to be able to feel comfortable between skipper and crew and work together. Lots of boats can sail in a straight line, but it's all the turning corners that you want to get down really smoothly.
Can break a crew, that place.
Yeah. So just got our last few boats on screen here coming down, and as soon as they finish, we'll be setting up for race 2. So we've got Shed from Middle Harbour with a little rig in, so it seemed like the big rigs did pay for this first race. Got our start boat on screen there. Just, I guess, give a shout out to our volunteers. I was Vice Commodore for a few years and I had to organise volunteers, and seriously they make that job really, really easy. Steve Isles is our usual starter. He's off starting our Manly Junior States this weekend, and so we've got Sean Lilly, Peter Tinworth, who you can see standing there, and Michael McMahon, who are all pitching in to start our races today.
yeah, without volunteers, we can't do what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a start boat with usually 6 volunteers, plus another 4 boats with 2 or 3 people each. And to fill those boats every week and have a few reserves, we're really, really lucky at Manly to have our volunteers.
And you can't forget Tina back at the club.
Absolutely. Tina, who's one of our life members on the radio at the club.
Make sure all the boats get home, ticks them all off. So another important job, because obviously sailing out here in the Sound a lot more than traditionally
Yes.
we've done.
Yeah, you only just touched on the work that Steve does, or Steve and your mum, Catherine, are both just amazing volunteers and supporters of not just the skiffs, but also the junior sailing. I've done a huge number of regattas with them, starting and assisting through the Manly Juniors, the Flying 11s, a lot of skiff stuff. They're just tireless volunteers. We're extremely lucky to have them, involved with all of our pathway classes here at Manly, and certainly at association level. It's greatly appreciated. So we did just hear that it looks like Cunningham's is heading home. There doesn't really appear to be any replacement crews available out here for them, unfortunately.
Well, the other problem they're going to have, Rob, is when they get back to the beach, they're going to have to wait for another boat to get back there to get them lift out of the water.
Oh, I don't know. Paulie could just carry the thing on his own, couldn't he?
Oh, he'd tell you he could.
Well, we got anyone else on course? I reckon we must be getting pretty close to timing out anyway. Anyone that's still racing? You can see the pin boat starting to set up just on the right of the shot there.
What is the time limit for these short courses? Is it 15 minutes or something? To shorten that down?
I'm going to say yes. Thanks for the question without notice again, Jimmy.
Peter Timworth there from Middle Harbour, just standing holding the pole. He a bit displaced on the Matana. He's normally out on the Mutiny, which is his Middle Harbour start boat.
Yeah, he's another tireless volunteer, Tinny. He does so much work for the Middle Harbour Club, for the Skiffs, and they're, all the way through their junior programs as well.
And he's down there, like, obviously we just don't do the live streaming here at Star Media. We do other works during the week. And, you'd come back and you'd see Tinny down there sweeping the deck, doing all the little bits and pieces just during the week all by himself. He's not the sort of guy that puts out everyone come down and help out. He just does it himself and chips away at it, which is good to see.
So Moon, are they going to bounce back in this one? They're 3 from 4 for this series. Swims around the top mark. They would not be happy. So if their Ruffy's going to be sailing with a bit of anger in this one, I'd expect. But the Imagine Signage just keep finding ways to win.
Just seen on the back of the committee boat, W4 for the 16s and a W3 for the 13s. So
no regard for the Middle Harbour boats.
So that means we'll do same as last time, except we'll just have an extra work. W standing for windward finish. So we'll finish on the 4th time at the top for 16s and 3rd time up the top for our 13s.
Just had a little bit of low cloud come through too. It's pushed a little bit more pressure through the course, but I think by the time we start it may well be gone. Expect this breeze to back off a little bit once this cloud pushes through.
Just taken that blue finish flag down, which means they're getting ready to go.
Just looking back over the breeze from the last race, was gusting to sort of 21 knots at times there. Breeze is tapering off on the sea breeze model, so see what comes of. Not long off signals.
Yeah, I don't know if we saw 21 up this end of the harbour, but certainly got into the teens.
Yeah, and I think boats will still be happy with their big rigs today.
Yep.
Fairly flat water. Makes boats a bit easier to handle in the breeze.
Tomorrow's meant to be quite the contrasting day of 31 degrees, sunshine.
Yeah.
So
our flags have just gone up there. Orange flag, start flag, marking the boat end of the line. CB standing for compass bearing course.
So after what you've seen in the first race, who are you going?
Oh, hard to tell now. I think Moonen will absolutely be fighting hard. Sail racing too. Both of them had an unfortunate swim in the first race, so if they can get around clean, they should be back up in the fleet.
Robbie, who are you thinking?
Well, the Fluid's got a pretty new crew combination going at the moment, and they certainly had a pretty decent race in that one, so I'd expect them to continue building and moving through the fleet, but at the moment I just can't go past Imagine Signage. Even when they look like they're a little bit deep or a little bit buried, they're just finding ways to get to the front end of this fleet.
So one thing you might see boats doing is coming up nice and close to the start boat and the pin boat. So they've got an instrument on their boats where they can actually ping the start line, and that'll give them a nice reading in the lead up to the start of how far away they are from the line. Just got Fluid on camera there. Smiling faces. Just gone into 4 minutes now.
How did you go down there, Mark? And are you heading back out? Yeah,
Breeze has just dropped a little bit here. It doesn't look like there's a lot on the left at the moment. I don't know what everyone's thinking, whether they're going to be pushing down for a pin end start based on how Sail Racing got the jump on everyone on the last one.
Yeah, you sort of, you've got to, well, as you know, you've got to have your eyes out of the boat all the time. You've got to go where the wind is. It's the important part of the day. For the whole crew, it's not just the skipper's job. Or, we used to have a bit of a system back in the day where Rob would look for it upwind and feed the info back, and then off a breeze I'd do my best to pretend I knew what I was talking about and where the breeze was.
Flat out not falling out of the boat.
Yeah. Well, it took away everything for me to hold on to. It's like a pinball machine back in the day.
Yeah, I just think that breeze is probably down a touch. I think there's going to be some big holes under Dobrod. I wouldn't want to be forced out to that side. I'd be taking a bit more of a conservative start, even if it's not necessarily the right end, aim for the middle rather than right down the pin. I'm sure I'll be proven wrong now, but...
Where would you be, Jess?
Oh, look, we just seem to always love a boat and start.
Say hi to Mum and Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to back in the 18s, if you missed the start timer, you'd start near the boat because the old blokes on the start boat, they'd be so loud you get the counter.
Yeah. Right, a minute 20 to go. Boats will start lining up to where they want to be.
Yeah, for those of you that have just tuned in, Cunningham's has gone home with Michael Childs, which sounds like a dislocated shoulder, what we heard over the radio, so we all hope for a speedy recovery from that, Mikey. While we've got a minute to go, you'll notice that Rob Napper's sporting quite the moustache doing Movember.
Don't put that on a shot, it's still pretty dirty.
So, Rob, how do people jump on and donate to get this thing shaved off?
Yeah, I've got it on my Facebook page at the moment. I might have to get you guys to share it potentially, but I will say a very big thank you to Jimmy and Star Media, who made a very generous donation to the cause with running it through work this year. So 15 seconds to go.
We'll share those details.
Yeah. Fleet is looking quite well behaved at this stage. There's a big sag in the middle of the line. So, clear start. Red Pumps has just cleared the pin there.
So we've got Imagine Signage who have chosen to do another pin and start, and Sal Racing are down there as well. And Noonan are right behind them too. So we'll head over to this left-hand side of the course and see how the boats are going over here. Definitely a tight start. You can see if you're not in the first row off the start line already, boats have dropped back a long way.
Yeah, it makes it hard if you're not in the front row, and we've always worked hard at getting there, and then the words of encouragement to stay there.
Yeah.
Moon's tacked off, and they're having a moment here. They're going to have to get pinball back under Ed King there.
So Moonan have just done a double tack. That's going to hurt them a little bit.
They do not have a lane now.
Seems to me that Imagine Signage have won this start here.
Yeah, the only boat to lure to them is Red Pumps, and they are not crossing at the moment. Still not sure that Imagine Signage are crossing the boats above them either, so they're somewhat dictated by by Sal Racing and Fluid, who are just going to be around to the left of this shot. See them there. That's probably it's the head of the race at the moment, those four boats.
So with the patchy rain coming at the moment, we're just getting our drone out of the sky. They don't like the here it comes. They don't like the rain, so we bring it in, and we're just down to the main camera for a little bit until this passing shower gets on through.
Simo tacks there. You can see Nathan looking over his shoulder. He was really waiting for an opportunity to go where he wasn't going to have to duck, so he's just thrown it back as soon as the guys inside him have gone. There are slightly down phase in breeze here. They're all looking for a little bit more power at the moment.
Be interesting to see. They were the last boats to tack off out to the right, so all these boats we've got on film here tacked off a bit earlier. They seem to be getting in some nice breeze up that end of the course.
Yeah, you can see Moonan on the left of shot there has just come back. They are our easternmost boats there, so MCC's still pushing out. Moonan are leading the fleet back from the east. They certainly look like they're a little bogged in the pack at the moment, though.
Shebang bang in front of Moonan. I'm sure Kingy would be loving that and be reminding Ruffy every time he
just
walks past him.
Just about to line him up here to slap one on his nose, I think.
Well, we saw what Moonan did last race, fighting back through the fleet, so hopefully for them they can do it again.
Sutek just ducking, what is it, the
Bartley?
Bartley, yep.
These guys are all just coming into some quite nice pressure now as they get around to the Bombora, around Dobroy Point. The breeze is just coming back in, so they'll start to get a little bit more uprange, hopefully.
Moonan not on screen, pushing right over into the bombies to try and get that little left-hander that materialises around the Bombora marks. They got a little ladder to climb.
See there, a bit more pressure now, starting to throw a bit of sheet. Boat's moving really nicely through the water. It's going to be between these two on screen now for the race lead at the moment.
And Fluid just to the left of screen there, like
they're in the mix, but I don't think they will cross either of these two at the moment.
Looks like Sail Racing have done really well here to get in front of Imagine Signage after that tack earlier on. You can see Fluid behind, just not quite up to them.
Yeah, I think the guys that have come a bit further to the north have just got a bit of a lift inside the Fluid there. Fluid's starting to go through the water again now. These guys have just lightened off, but they did lose a lot of height in this this transition across to the from the Bomboras across to Little Manly.
And there's Moonan on screen coming in hot from the left. So the magic people behind us three got the drone just holding it out undercover, which is good. So there you go. We try and get you as much as we can.
So Imagine Signage decided to put an early attack in to try and put some distance between themselves and Sail Racing, and Fluid have actually done really well here. Once again, we were wrong.
You got a nice little righty off Flagstaff, little easterly shift, done very well through there. Moonan's also got themselves back up into this race, so we're expecting to see these two. Imagine Signage and Moonan will be the top 4 around the top mark here.
Got some nice pressure coming down on this top mark, so they're in a good spot to be setting their kite.
Nice set on the Fluid there.
Imagine Signage and Moonan. If I was Fluid and Sail Racing, I wouldn't be resting on that.
Yeah, it's a very capable top 4.
And Swell Racing next around. With Botany Access, Shebang, Sutek, Fire Stopping. Better work, boys. MCC.
MCC going to round out the top 10 around this top mark.
And then Eric's Storage. Or Removals. Which one's that one?
That's Storage.
That's Storage.
Yep.
And then Red Pumps.
Sutek on screen here have done really well to get over the top of those two boats with a nice, quick and high line set. Yeah, really good pressure coming down the course now.
Very tight in the middle of the pack here. Just jostling for a position to get above, get some height to try and roll down over the top of the guys in front of you, but then you box yourself out of an opportunity to drive where you want. So it's a very tricky part of the course up here.
See Sail Racing in the background there have decided to go for an early jive. Moonan have also jived off early. So it'll be good to see how they come back. We've got our 13 Fleet who have just started their second race.
There they are. We'll catch up with the 13s a little bit later on in their race, like we did in that race.
So we've got Sail Racing on camera now, who look to be in second after Fluid. Yeah, boats have chosen a different downwind path this time compared to last race. They seem to be choosing to go in the middle of the course a bit more.
So you got Moonage just like down inside, Imagine Signage there. Imagine are not going to be in a position to jive where they want to here. That's the shot there. Expect Ruffield hold them right out to a lay line. You can see just off camera, I can see the guys that have the Fluid and the Sail Racing have both probably gone a little bit late. So it's a very tight lay getting down to these bottom marks now. Really fighting it there.
Yeah, I was sort of heading off towards Grotto, and I'm like going, they know the marks are up there, so.
Yeah, well, Imagine Signage and Moonan have gone even further. So they're all going to be fighting hard to get back up to this gate. You know what, it's not necessarily the worst thing to do, because all the guys further up the course are actually a bit down pressure, so even being a bit below these marks will still be probably the quickest way to get to the bottom mark. Sail Racing with a bit of work to do here.
Sail Racing didn't give Paul a whole lot of time to get that kite down. And you can see Moonin and Imagine Signage have gone too far. They're dropping their kites early, which will allow Fluid and Sail Racing to put a bit of distance on them.
Yeah, and they've maintained a pretty good gap to the guys behind them. I don't think that that's actually cost them too much. They're still certainly in touch with the leaders.
Alright, so we've got Sutek in 5th place and Botany Access close behind.
Oh, Botany Access on a really loose lay for that bottom mark. They're going to have to do a double jibe unless they're going to the left-hand mark. It's a bit tight.
Down pressure.
Yeah.
They're always fun.
So I think Swell Racing with the Black Spinnaker were, I think they were 5th around the top mark, and they jibed out early and got absolutely smashed down that run. They're going to do their own thing here again. So we've got the whole pack coming around the bottom mark.
Super tight racing in the middle of the fleet here, which I think is one thing that makes the 16s a really good boat to sail. So that's CMG from Middle Harbour on screen now.
I know you really haven't retired, but are you missing it?
Oh, yeah, I am. When you get to be out here and watch a race like this, yeah, I do miss it.
Thank you.
It's got Typhoon.
Might be coming around. They're a little deep in this one. They won't be overly happy with that, I don't think. Just going to make our way back up the course here. We'll go and see where the leaders in the 16s are and try and pick up the leaders in the 13s at the same time. 13s are just approaching the top mark now.
Just a reminder for the viewers that we're just down to the main camera at the moment. Just with this little rain squall that's passing through, we just we can fly a drone in the rain, but we're not allowed to. But there's a high chance that we won't get the drone back, so that's why we don't have them up in the rain. There's the 13-foot skiffs, first around a red spinnaker.
Looks like it could be the Sail Media.
I think it is, followed by Harkin.
Yeah. Off-screen Fluids round in third.
Fourth rounds.
Cybertech Group.
Cybertech Group.
Yeah. Followed by MCC.
Well, talking about the Cybertech Group, that's the least favourite son according to him on Facebook. Cobes, what's Ash up to today, mate?
Ash, I think he's probably playing Fortnite. I'm not sure. He didn't get a ride this week, so I think he's actually out of the house. He's hanging out with some mates. He's been doing a lot of sailing lately, so we've had him out a fair bit in the Flying 11 as he starts to ramp up for his nationals.
On screen now we have Fluid and Sail Racing. Still looking like they are first and second in the 16s. And back onto Harkin, who seem to be putting a little bit of space onto Sail Media.
Yes, Sail Media have sailed up and out of the breeze there. It looks like they're all just getting very patchy under Dobroyd there. Served them well to have a jibe out early. Yeah, these two are definitely our race lead. We got way off camera. We've got Moonen has taken a massive dig out to the east. They're miles away, so it'll be interesting to see where they converge.
There's Ebix on camera there, one of our 13-foot skiffs. I don't think they'll be too happy with how they're going at the moment. They'll be pushing to win this race, so it'll be interesting to see how they fight back through the fleet.
Not far off this second top mark. I was never any good at counting laps. Like, you're the math teacher.
Yeah.
Was I sailing with you, Rob, when we did that short insight course and it was like 7 laps or whatever back in the day, and we went, oh, that's enough. We went home, we had the tracker or whatever that proved it, and everyone else did an extra lap for good measure.
Always pays to know the course.
Well, we used to have the laminated one in the Spinnaker bag. You'd always carry one on you. And then, like, don't think we got any courses wrong. Who used to look after the courses when you were sailing with your brother and so forth?
We all relied on each other. Someone would always forget. But if it's wrong, it's always the skipper's fault, so...
Well, Andrew's not here to defend himself,
Yeah,
so
well,
you can blame him right
it's
now.
Andrew's fault, yep.
There you go.
I think he's listening in at home, so Andrew, always your fault.
What's Andrew up to these days?
He's been filling in when he can. He's been sailing on an 18 a little bit as well.
Yeah, I've seen him down there a bit.
Yeah, and then playing golf and doing whatever he wants to do.
Back on our race lead here. Final approach into the top mark. So you can see second and third in Sail Racing, Imagine Signage, and that's Moonen just underneath Imagine Signage now.
So not as much breeze up this top end of the course this time round.
Not a great set on the fluid, but it's up.
Here's Imagine Signage coming in third, Moonen behind in fourth.
So these two completely split tacks up this work, and you can see they've come back together with no difference to the separation when they left.
So these top four seem to have split a little bit from the rest of the fleet.
Nice shot there of our top four. Sutek will be the next boat around, but I think we'll follow these guys down for a little while. Certainly down phase this breeze.
interesting to see just there the Imagine signage, just different styles of swinging the boat, and yeah, it looks like Imagine signage is just trying to soak down a little bit, give that separation.
Yeah, much smoother style with Imagine, just a very subtle pump and a little lean into it rather than the big pump and bounce that Matty's more likely to do on the Moon and just force it down. Still, these two behind have actually picked up a nice line inside the front two. It's going to tighten everything up as they get down towards this bottom mark.
Moon and jibing off.
Yeah. First to go. They are jibing in pressure.
Back to what looks like a bit of pressure.
Imagine following suit. These guys still short of a lay line, I think. Just off screen, Moon are now coming back in great pressure. These guys are probably still down a little, they're just waiting for the pressure to come down to them.
So racing will be a little bit nervous there. Looking at how Moonan's coming back in plenty of pressure.
I'm pretty sure Moonan crossed in front of Imagine signage as well, and he's certainly got his sights set on Sail Racing here. Won't cross him, but has certainly taken a fair bit of time out of him. He's just put himself in a nice part of that gust there, Ruffy. He's going to come back right in a nice spot on this lay line as well. So the fluid have gone slightly past the marks.
I think just Dave O'Connor trying to get his eye back in and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yep, Moonan up into second place there.
Look who's going around the other mark. Imagine signage. So first is Fluid, second Moonan, third Imagine signage, fourth Sail Racing.
Yeah, Sail Racing were the last boat to jibe on that downwind, so you can see they've lost a bit in doing that. We've just got Sutek there with the white kite coming in fifth.
The darker white kite.
The darker, yes, there are 3 white kites on screen. So Imagine signage have decided to tack back pretty quickly after splitting from the others around the bottom marks.
I think that's probably a good idea. You go where everyone else is, but you're giving himself that gauge off the other boats. So.
Yeah, he's in good pressure too. He just doesn't have the greatest angle at the moment. CC coming in a little hot.
shebang split marks, and they've gone to the left-hand mark downhill. Slowly creep our way back up through the field. See if we can catch a bit of the 13s coming down. Red pumps, red in front of red pumps.
So back on with Sail Racing. They're the easternmost out of these front four. They're in the best pressure at the moment out of the four as well. Look to be quite nicely set up and moving really well through the water there.
See in the background Harkin 13. They seem to be sailing really well this race. As far as I can tell from where we are, Harkin seem to be leading the 13s at the moment.
Yeah, I'd suggest they're in front. Got fluid onto leeward of them and Sail Media in behind them.
Back onto Sail Racing there.
And that's Moonin, Imagine Signage, and Fluid in behind.
So still our top four there. I think if Sail Racing gets any sort of easterly shift once they get out here, they're going to cross the other four. So they've gone from fourth around that bottom mark out of the pack to being in quite a good position here.
Moonin tack back onto starboard, heading back into the Bomboras in the background.
Just off camera, Plonk actually crossed Harkin, heading up to the top mark. 13s. Sail Racing really out here on their own now in the 16s. All the others are working up towards the Dobroyd side. These guys will be really hoping for a bit of a right-hand shift to get them back across to the top mark. They're going to run out of runway and pressure soon though, so they'll be hoping it does happen probably in the next 15 or 20 seconds.
Get the rosary beads out and start praying.
Although we did see on the last work, boats who split left and right up the course did come back fairly close, so I think they've made a smart decision to give themselves a bit of space on the other three.
So you can see Imagine Signage and Moonin in the background of that shot. From where we're sitting, it looks like Sail Racing has taken a fairly significant advantage out of this exchange.
Moonin in the back of screen, just tacking under the bow of Imagine Signage. You got Fluid just to the left of screen coming into where they are.
Yeah, so
Looks like Sail Racing's pulled a rabbit out of the hat almost here.
they're a bit down though, but they've certainly clawed back what they lost down that run.
Those following 13s to the right of where we're up to, the 13s are just about to round their top mark for the second time.
Who's first?
So
Plonk.
yeah, we do have Plonk
Plonk
from
Cafe.
Plonk from Middle Harbour are in first, Harkin in second.
Ubix and Sail Media just coming together at the top here.
So Ebix have done really well to fight their way back up into third position after a not so good start for them.
There you go, Sail Racing crossing comfortably.
Yeah, well done to them. They saw something and they went for it, and yeah, they've done really well.
Still a full lap to go in this 16 race though, so it's not certainly not over. So we're up to, we got 5 13s around the top as well. It's Cybertech Group going around in 6th.
Bartley, our next 13, who I think would be hoping to have done a little bit better today. And MCC. So Sail Racing have just tacked to the lay. They are in a fairly comfortable lead, I'd say.
It looks like Fluid just crossed in front of both Imagine Signage and Moonen. So nice gain here to Sail Racing. They're going to struggle to get under these two 13s though. The 13s typically sail a few degrees higher than the 16s. Once you get caught underneath them, it's really, really difficult to get through them, especially in this downrange breeze. And that's our battle for second. Very tight.
It is extremely tight there for second.
So that's Fluid around in second, Imagine Signage third, and Moonen in fourth. And then a big gap until fifth.
Big battle here.
So Fluid there are really trying to push Imagine Signage up. They do have rights. Imagine Signage need to give way being windward boat, but it looks like they have done well, Imagine Signage, to get over the top of them.
And all that did was open the door for Moonen to get down inside them, who have now just jogged off. So we'll stick with this little battle here.
So Imagine Signage may have seen Moonen jibe off.
No,
And
they're
They're
doing
going to
penalty
take
turn.
they're taking
Penalty
their medicine there. They must have clipped Fluid down that run. They've decided to do the right thing, take their turn. That's so just they're off shot, but they've completed their 360. The Spinnaker's going back up now. It was pretty nicely done for a.
That was very well done for
Yeah.
having the Spinnaker up.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 for doing a penalty turn. There's our leaders on the screen. And there is second place. We think is second place because obviously Sail Racing had a huge gain out to the right going uphill. That's where Moonen went, going downhill.
That's the chasing pack. 5th to 8th.
So it looks like Sutek is still in 5th place. Yeah, they've got a lot of work to do if they want to get back up to these top 4. So we have Sail Racing our first 16, and we've got Ebix and Fluid 13-foot skiffs.
So Sail Racing's really jumped away while these guys are all mucking around with each other at the back at the top mark. It's giving them a nice bit of breathing room. Just gonna still haven't popped the buttons yet on the Fluid there. And it's going to be tight here with the Fluid.
Driving back on in the pressure line that they're in there, Robbie.
Yep.
Fluid's got plenty on.
Yeah, Fluid is low in plenty of pressure at the moment. Sail Racing just off screen are just coming around the bottom mark now. They've taken the starboard rounding, heading back to Dobroyd. Going to want to think about where they put themselves now to try and stay between the pack and the finish line. Nicely done though, very tidy. All good to go.
There's
like-
Fluid right on the edge.
Yeah, Fluid struggling to make that bottom mark. So they're going for an early drop so they can get a bit of height to get around.
Just off to the right, we're going to have Moonen coming in for a nice tight jibe drop.
There they
There it
are.
is. Advantage Moonen from that one. Oh, Fluid's inside though.
Nicely done.
Very tight. And then just off to our right, we've got Imagine Signage driving around the port rounding mark. Thanks, Chits. Nice work. That's how tight it is. Probably only 10 seconds between 2nd and 4th.
Here we've got Sutek coming in 5th place.
With the MCC 13.
You're getting a little bit loose there. Managed to save it. So Sail Racing still heading over to the Dobroyd shore. The other two are following. Imagine Signage still heading out to the east, which is the play that worked to get Sail Racing back in the lead. So it does look a little shifty out here though, so I'm not sure if that's still gonna be the case up this work. Very late drop on the shebang.
Shebang with a new North Sails spinnaker there.
Left a little bit too much work for Jamie to do there.
They're always easier to pack when they're new, aren't they, Rob?
I was always a fan of softening them up before we took a new spinnaker into a championship. Fit in the bag a bit better once you've beaten them up.
Very square here on the red pumps. And they've got a spinnaker chute, so a bit different. We'll head on up and try and round up the leaders and Imagine Signage for the viewers at home. They've just tacked back on to starboard to come. They've only sort of gone halfway of where Sail Racing went last time. You going to be around for the Nationals, Jess?
don't plan on sailing in the Nationals. I've done enough Nationals.
Well, we'll put you on our crew list as well.
Oh,
How's
yeah,
that
yeah.
for you?
Yeah, the Nationals are down at St George this year. So that will be some fun for boats heading down there in early January.
Swell racing on shot there. So these guys have had a worthwhile day coming down from Belmont.
How long have they been sailing together, Rob?
I think this might be, certainly competitively for the last 2-3 seasons. This would be their third season. They've sort of been towards the front end of the fleet. I know they've, I'm not sure if they were all together, but I know Hugo had a boat a few national, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, but certainly since this combination got together with Hugo and Felix and Matt, they've been knocking on the door for the last 2 or 3 years. It's a gap to the race lead there. You can see Sail Racing off to the left, just trying to keep a little cover on Moonan. I think Moonan's going to have issues with fluid yet, and Imagine Signage appear to be probably just in 4th place. Sail Racing doing a really nice job of keeping themselves between the chasing pack and the finish line here.
Rule 101, isn't it?
It is not always that easy when you've got 2 or 3 boats splitting tacks behind you. They just had enough of a gap at the bottom to be able to put themselves in that loose covering position over the whole fleet. Sail Racing just taking on the front edge of a really nice line here. Not sure what the angle's going to be, but they're definitely going to have pressure in a couple of seconds.
So they'd be pretty close to late.
Yeah, they're not far off it, are they? Looking very comfortable at the moment.
So that's our finish line with the blue Matana up top of the screen. Sail Racing have done really, really well these last 2 works to put themselves in a great position.
You see Felix still hiking, not that much longer to go.
Yeah,
Quite a substantial gap, and it's not willing to take the foot off the throttle, is he?
Some skippers work hard.
Yeah, we struggled to find one that did.
So just in the chasing pack, we've got Fluid appear to have Imagine Signage tucked away, and Ruffy's a long way off, but sorry, the Moonan's a long way off to Leeward. They've been quite nervous at the moment. If they don't get a shift, they're going to end up in 4th here. Nicely managed there by Felix. Just the last thing you want to do now is get tangled up with a boat coming around the top mark.
Especially one that's not from your club.
Not from your club, not on your lap. You, yeah. It's the only thing that's going to stop them from winning here is probably a crash. Safe enough on that final approach to the finish. Just got a nice lift around the, get him up and around the boat.
Yeah, well done to them.
Nicely done. Really that race was really won on quite a ballsy move out to the east on that second lap. Happy to split from the pack to back himself there, Felix, which he often does, and he, to be honest, doesn't get it too wrong too often.
So we've got Fluid on screen there.
Yep, we've got a big split with the next three. So Fluid's in the middle. We've got Moonin out to the east. Imagine
And
Signage
quite
coming
high
from the north.
too,
Yeah, Moonan's just got on a nice right-hander here, so this is going to be an extremely tight finish. Too tight to call at the moment.
Fluid have just put a cover on Imagine Signage. So they are on their way to the finish now. They might need to put one more tack back in, but Moonin definitely are close.
It's going to be a close finish, that's for sure. Fluid getting a nice little...
They've just got a lift there, which suggests that Moonan's going to knock.
Plonk just won the 13s in the background there.
Fluid crosses second. Moonan may have a tack to do here. Might get across clean. Third place for Moonan. Imagine Signage home in fourth. Tell you what, that is great racing. Super tight.
Looks like our next 13 will be Ebix. So Plonk from Middle Harbour, so Ebix will be our first Manly 13.
I think that's the second time Plonk has won a race here at Manly.
Yeah, they
this
are
season they've
doing
improved
really,
out
really
of
well.
sight.
It's tight in the 13s here as well, so we've got Ebix from maybe from Fluid. Ebix are going to get across first. Fluid and Harkin are going to be very tight here.
Yep.
Split ends of the line.
So it's Harkin just coming on camera now.
And it's going to be followed by Sail Media. So
I think Fluid may have just got them.
So Fluid from Harkin, from Sail Media.
It's really good to see some quality racing in 13-foot skiffs this year. I think we've got 17 or 18 boats registered.
Yeah, it's the biggest fleet we've had, I think. Cybertech Group coming home there in fourth in the 13s. MCC coming home in fifth in the 16s. Sutek across the line. Swell Racing, just doing the right thing here there. They know that they're not in this race. They're just trying to stay out of the way.
So Eric Storage will be the first Middle Harbour 16. Botany Access, Shebang and Red Pumps all finishing quite closely.
Very tight there. Probably too tight to call from here.
Disappointing for the Red Pumps, like, you know, they've been out training like consistently, probably more than anyone, and you know, they're just not jagging the results that, you know, for the amount of effort that they're putting into the training.
Yeah, I think Tyler's backing up from a couple of weeks away too. He hasn't been in the boat. I think he just flew in this morning from schoolies, so that may have some
bearing on it.
Some influence on the result today.
There's the MCC 13. And then a tight one here in the 16s, just around to your left, Piers.
Yeah, nice battle there. We've got the fire stopping just trying to leap out the Outback Marine.
They got there.
Advantage to the red boat.
And Red Pumps red next. Shout out to the Annabelle Rankin, the Captain Cook skipper did the really nice thing there. He just came to a complete stop just while all these boats were finishing, so not much water between where the finish boat is and the land for them. So back on the racing, Imey next, a bit of a
Bit of a disappointing race for those boys. They really didn't get off the line. They were quite buried off the start. So it's a short race. It's always going to be hard to come back from there.
And Jimmy Beck trying to remember how a main sheet works.
I think it's been a little while since he sold one of these, so he may have run out of carrots in that second race. I'll find out when we get back to shore.
And the double Bartley, you got the Bartley 13 and the Bartley 16 finishing. And Botany scaffolds. And then boat from, I gather, Middle Harbour, is it? This just beating Employment Hero home. Yeah, MH2301 on the mainsail. So, all right. Well, with Craig Nichols and the Mighty Typhoon coming to the finish line, we might wrap up proceedings here on board the Canberra Cat on what's been a miserable day. Hope everyone that has been watching has been enjoying it. Thanks to all the crew on board for bringing us the awesome shots. Very difficult day, obviously half a day with the drone down because of the rains. So thanks to these two really special people, Jess and Rob. Thank you so much for jumping on and enjoying the commentary with us and bringing it to the world. And most definitely, you two are more than welcome back anytime you like. So
thanks, Jimmy.
Great
Happy
to have
be
you.
here.
Thanks for having me.
So I guess we're back in a couple of weeks for another club champ. And then we're shaping right up into the Nationals. We've got a pretty busy calendar here at Sail Media, so if you want to know what we're up to and where we're at, jump onto our Facebook page and we'll let you know where and what we're doing. Thanks to all my wonderful team. This has been a Sail Media production for the Manly 16-Foot Skiff Club for heats 4 and 5 of their club championship. Thank you.